Happy Victory Friday to all my Eagle fans out there. If you're not an Eagles fan, feel free to come join the team, okay? We'll take you in. It's not a problem. We could always use more passionate fans. We can always use some more people part of the winning fan base, okay? We got it done yesterday, and today we've got a loaded college basketball slate. So I've got 3 best bets for you guys in college basketball and NBA, and if you stay till the very end, I will tell you guys what I'm going to take in the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. This is the free 3. Let's have a day. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm bringing down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we try to get to the bag together and make some money. Now, I do want to kind of start off the show with this caveat, okay? If these plays are not as sharp as you guys are used to seeing from me, it's because I'm running off of 0 sleep. I haven't slept in about 30 hours. I drove all the way from New York yesterday, all the way back to Atlanta. I'm talking about a 15, 16-hour car drive. I drove all night long. I'm here recording this video for you guys, so I've done some research. I've got in my bag a little bit, but I'm giving you guys my little caveat that if you see the little red in the eyes, if these picks are a little bit off, then don't blame me too bad because I'm a little bit sleep deprived. But tomorrow we got college football, so we'll be back as always. But yesterday I was watching the game on the road. Hopefully, we have no state troopers listening to this. We went 2-1 yesterday. Eagles on the spread. It was a little bit of a sweat. Shout out to Jake Elliott, but we got it done. Jalen Hurts pass attempts. Also a sweat. But shout out to Saquon Barkley because we got that done. And Jalen Daniels passing yards. That's one of those bets I'm not actually mad that it missed. Even though I would have liked to sweep the board, I'll take a 2-in-1 day. If he didn't throw that pick when they were down 9, he probably would have easily gone over his pass number. But it happens. 2-in-1 on the day. We'll take a winning day. That's 3 winning days this week out of the 4 days so far. So you love to see that. Let's keep the momentum going today because I really do love this college basketball slate. So many good games are on today. So hopefully I can get a nap in a little bit so this way I can watch those games tonight. And I've got a few picks for you guys in those games. So if you're not smashing the subscribe button, if you're not sharing this video with somebody, I don't know what you're doing because we're going to load up our first hardwood haymaker tomorrow. If you guys don't know what the hardwood haymaker is, it's where I pick all these different games that I'm going to take either on the spread or on the money line, trying to get to about plus 1,000 odd value. But you guys want that plus 1,000 winner, I need 1,000 subscribers. So share this video with some friends and family. And if you guys are going to be in Georgia tomorrow, let me know because I might be boots on ground for the Georgia-Tennessee game. So I'm giving you guys a little update of some of the things that I'm doing. I'll give you guys a little update of some of the things I'm doing. So this way you guys can stay up to date. And then again, I would love to meet some of you guys. I'd love to be able to talk, share some bets, and just have great conversations, man. So I do appreciate all the love and support that you guys are dropping. The comments underneath the video, I'm seeing more activity there. I appreciate it. I will respond to each and every one of you as much as I can. If I don't type it out, sometimes I'll actually just speak about it in the video like I did with Nick the other day. So make sure you guys are still dropping that love and support. Now let's dive into these winners real quickly before I fall asleep here on this channel. All right, first best bet of the day, college basketball. I love this game, okay? It was a team that we've taken already this year, and to me, this line looks a little bit fishy. Well, it doesn't look fishy. It's kind of like a pick-em, but I'm going to take SMU today against the Butler Bulldogs. We're taking them on the money line, minus 120 odds. Now, we took SMU earlier this season on the team total. It was a sweat against UNC Greensboro. We needed 81. They scored 81, and SMU has started off the year 3-0. You love to see it. They picked up wins against Tarleton State, Florida A&M, and UNC Greensboro. Obviously, all 3 of those teams are not that great of a caliber of team, but now you have a Butler Bulldogs team that is at home in this matchup, but that loss to Austin Peay back on Friday, November the 8th, is a little bit of a head scratcher. I'm not going to lie. They were able to beat Missouri State by just 7 points. That was a little bit of a sweat. They didn't cover in that game. They lost to Austin Peay at home, and keep in mind, Austin Peay is a guy that has one arm. Okay, I'm not saying that he can't hoop, but he has one arm, okay? And Butler's supposed to be like an NCAA tournament team. I digress. Western Michigan, they were able to handle them pretty easily, winning that game by 20 points. But now they're at home against an SMU team that right now, to start off the regular season, obviously 3 games, so limited sample size, they are the fastest paced offense in all of college basketball. They push the rock. They're looking to score the ball fast. They're looking to get shots up quickly. We know that's something that Andy Enfield likes to do. Back in his days at USC, he liked to do that as well. And then keep in mind, this was the coach back in Florida Gulf Coast where they went deep into the tournament as well. So this is a coach who's kind of familiar with playing good caliber players. He had to go to the transfer portal to kind of reload this staff. He's got Kevin Miller, the transfer from Wake Forest in Central Michigan there, who started off the year really strong. You've got Chuck Harris, who's played the last 2 seasons for SMU, but he started off his career actually against this Butler Bulldogs team. So guess what? He's very familiar with this court, very familiar with this environment. I think that's going to pay dividends for them as well today. And then you They've got B.J. Edwards, the transfer from Tennessee as well. So I like the core that SMU has. I'm not saying they're going to go to the NCAA tournament or anything just yet, but I think this is a team that you guys want to keep an eye on in the ACC because there's going to be a lot of competition there, but they do have some players. And to start off the regular season, they're 44th in adjusted offensive efficiency. They're 87th in defensive efficiency, but this is the thing that I love. Even though they shoot the ball really fast on the offensive side, on the defensive side, they're the exact opposite. They're trying to let you milk the shot clock. They're 333 out of 360 college basketball teams. They're near the bottom in terms of defensive possessions, in terms of teams scoring the ball quickly against them. I think that's going to play dividends for them against a Butler Bulldogs team that struggled to find their offense. We saw that against Austin Peay when they were full court pressing them. Right now, to start off the regular season, Butler has a 98 on an adjusted offensive efficiency. They're shooting pretty well from the field. They're 58th in all of college basketball in effective field goal percentage, but they turn over the ball a lot. To start off the regular season, 311th in turnover percentage on the offensive side of the ball. That's not going to get it done against an SMU team that's ranked top 50 in all of college basketball. So for me, this is just a letdown spot. I like SMU, even though they started their first 3 games off the year at home. This is their first true away test, but I like it here. I don't trust Butler here. There's not too many things I think Butler's going to do this season in the Big East Conference. Thad Matta, he has not really been that good in all honesty ever since he got let go by Ohio State, if we're being honest. And I don't think they've even made the tournament since he's been there. So for me, I'm taking SMU on the money line. I like the value that we're getting. Let's cash this for our first pick of the day. For our second best bet of the day, we're going to go to the marquee matchup that everybody's going to be talking about. Purdue, Alabama. What are you taking, Noble? 2 high-flying offenses. Alabama's first road game. What are we doing? I'm taking Purdue. Purdue on the money line. Now I don't need the 2.5 points. I'm taking Purdue. Plus 120. Take it on the money line. If you want to take the 2.5 points that the books are giving us right now, be my guest. But I like Purdue. Why? Because this is just an overreaction. Why is Purdue an underdog at home? At home. One of the toughest places to play in West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue. With a great backcourt in Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, and Trey Kaufman-Renn. And people just acting like because they lost Zach Edey, this whole team fell apart. Let's be honest here, okay? That team had to morph around Zach Edey. They didn't have to play that style of basketball. And to start off the regular season, they're 4th in adjusted offensive efficiency. They can play really well. And if you know Matt Painter, if you've been following college basketball over the years, he always has a really big center that clogs up the paint. And that's no different this season. He has 2 7-footers on this roster in Will Berg, who's 7'2", and then he also has Daniel Jacobson, who's 7'4". So everybody out here who's going to be breaking down this game is going to tell you Alabama's going to win this game because they've got Mark Sears, because they've got Grant Nelson. Nobody's going to stop Amori on the inside. They have the size to stop Amori, okay? And they have the guard play that can compete with Mark Sears in this Alabama offense and how they like to shoot a lot of threes. Fletcher Lawyer can shoot a lot of threes as well. This is just an overreaction to me. I don't understand why Purdue is an underdog at home to start off the regular season, given the fact that both of these teams are 3-0. And Purdue has not played around with their food. They beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi 90-73. They beat Northern Kentucky 72-50. They did have a close game against Yale where they won that game 92-84. But for me, Alabama has played a lot closer games and against less inferior opponents, in my personal opinion. They blew out UNC Asheville in their first game of the season, but Arkansas State, that was an 88-79 win for them. So they didn't cover the spread. That was a very close game. Against McNeese in their last game, they were like 14-point favorites. They won that game by 8 points, 72-64 at home. So these are all things for me that has me scratching my head a little bit that said, you know, if Alabama struggled at home, what are they going to do on the road in a very tough place and environment to play against a very experienced coach in Matt Painter who's used to turnover, who's used to bringing in new talent and new players. This is a team right now that's ranked 5th in effective field goal percentage. I get that we're in the closer to the beginning of the year, but Alabama 64th in effective field goal percentage to start off the regular season. They're not hitting as many shots as we're used to seeing them. I'm not saying that, you know, Alabama is not going to be going into the Final Four or win the national championship, because they're still one of those contending teams. But right now, they have not showed me enough that gives me the confidence to take them on the road here. I like Purdue. I'm taking them at home. Alabama right now, 235th in all college basketball in three-point percentage. They're not hitting their shots, y'all. They're going to keep jacking them. They're going to keep shooting them. And obviously the regression is going to revert back to the mean at some point in the season. But for me, I don't think that happens on the road today. Give me Purdue on the money line. If you want to take the points, be my guest. Let's cash it as our second best bet of the day. Our third best bet of the day. Let's go to the NBA real quick. We've got some NBA Cup games today. We got the Lakers and Spurs. We got the Heat and Pacers. Magic and 76ers. Knicks and Nets. What's going to happen today? Well, I'm just going to go with a player prop. A guy that we've taken already this season one time, Mr. Jordan Poole. We're going to go over 21.5 points. You can get that at minus 115 odds there. Now, Jordan Poole, the Wizards are taking on the Atlanta Hawks. We took him exactly in this situation the last time that he played the Atlanta Hawks. Why? Because the Hawks give the second most points per game to point guards. I don't care if Trae Young is back. I don't care what Dyson Daniels has been doing. Jordan Poole is coming off of a career high 42 points against the San Antonio Spurs, where he shot at 15 of 22 from the field. That's 68%. To go with 6 for 9 from the three-point line, that is 67%. With 6 for 6 from the free throw line at 100% for a true shooting percentage of 85%. That is one hell of a game. Now, obviously, Jordan Poole is streaky. You don't know what you're going to get out of him from one game to the next, because the game before that, he played 34 minutes. He only had 11 points against the Rockets. But for me, against the Atlanta Hawks, a team that he's already faced twice this season, he's at 24 points and 26 points on 6 of 18 shooting and 9 of 17 shooting, 4 of 9 from the three-point line in one game, 6 of 8 from the three-point line in the other game. Obviously, this is a cup match. I think these games do mean a little bit more. That's up for debate for some people. That's why I wanted to take the Lakers on the spread. Hint, hint. But I will stay off of that just for the case of this video. But Jordan Poole getting buckets against the Hawks is something that I can see. And we have a very high total in this game. It's at 240.5, my people. 240.5. So if the Hawks are going to win this game by the 10-point spread that they had the game at 240.5, so that means, like, let's do the math on that. We're looking at, what, a 130-110 finish? So for me, how the Wizards scoring 110 points if Jordan Poole doesn't have 25? You let me know. Let's cash that as our third and final best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me, my friends. 3 best bets that I'm giving you guys on the basketball card for Friday, the November 15th. We're going to go Jordan Poole over 21.5 points. SMU on the money line. Purdue on the money line. Now, my bonus pick for you guys today. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, Netflix special, premiere. Who are we taking? I don't really care about the fight, if I'm being honest with you. I think this whole stuff is staged. Jake Paul, shout out to him for, being able to go from a YouTuber to a boxer. That's what happens when you have money. That's what happens when you have fans. You can do whatever the hell you want to do in life. I give him all the credit for that, because if I could do it, I would. But this is the thing. Mike Tyson is Mike motherfucking Tyson. And this is the thing. Like, I grew up in a boxing household. Like, I was, as a 5-year-old, watching Muhammad Ali, George Foreman film. Like, my parents were on that. Like, Joe Frazier, Rumble in the Jungle. Like, I know Lennox Lewis. I know all the boxers from Evander Holyfield all the way down to Floyd Mayweather, all the way to Canelo Alvarez, all the way to Terrence Crawford. Like, I know boxing, okay? I don't know what's going to happen here. One thing that is worth noting, though, right, is that this fight is going to be 8 2-minute rounds. So that's completely different than the 3-minute rounds that we're used to seeing on the professional ranks, right? But then also, instead of it going like 12, 15 rounds, which was back in Mike Tyson's day, what he was used to, it's only going 8 rounds. Now, obviously, Jake Paul's 28 and Mike Tyson's 58. 30-year difference between the two fighters there. Listen, I've seen when Anderson Silva fought Jake Paul, that's when I knew this stuff was rigged. Because he was clearly pulling his punches. He did some little thing with his wrist or whatever, and then he got knocked down. Huge payday, right? Jake Paul's fought either former MMA people or washed up boxers, besides the one time that he fought Tommy Fury and he lost that fight, right? And that was a split decision. I think something very similar happens today. I don't see Mike Tyson just taking a dive. I mean, they said he's going to get paid like $20 million for this. And I watched an interview yesterday where they were asking about his legacy. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about my legacy. Like, legacy is for like when you die, I'm alive, all that stuff. I'm taking this fight to go the distance, plus 135. Now, if you want to take the over 5.5 rounds, I'm not opposed to that as well. But I think this one goes the distance. I don't see Jake Paul knocking out Mike Tyson. And unless one of the wires snap in Mike Tyson's head, which we saw it happen yesterday when Jake Paul stepped on his foot, he slapped him. I don't know if that was staged either. I can see Mike Tyson's like saying, all right, I'm going to fuck you up. But also at the same time, this fight is happening with 14-ounce gloves. So for my people who don't know what that means, my dad was a professional martial artist, so I know a lot about fighting, and I used to box and stuff. Like, the gloves that you usually fight with is anywhere from 8 to 10 ounces. You're fighting with 14-ounce gloves. That is very heavy. And if you guys have ever boxed before, keeping your hands up with regular gloves is hard, let alone heavier gloves. And we're going 8 rounds. I don't know if those knockout punches are necessarily going to be there for either fighter, let alone for Jake Paul, right? Now, again, if it's staged, it's staged, nothing we can do about that. But I do think that this is one that is going to go the distance, even if somebody does get knocked down, even if it's clear who the winner is. I don't see it happening by KO. Now, like I said, Mike Tyson can flip a switch and get disqualified, TKO, whatever. I can see that happening. But I don't know what type of Iron Mike we're going to get. I don't know what's been going on behind the scenes. So the safest bet here, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson to go the distance, plus 135. Whoever wins is whoever wins. I'm voting for Mike Tyson. I'm tired of seeing this Jake Paul shit. Like, fight a real fighter, in all honesty. And, shout out to him again. He's got the fans. He's got the credibility. He's got everything. But I'd like to see Mike Tyson knock him out, in all honesty, because it's Iron Mike, and the dude can still probably go, and he's still missing a few screws, and shout out to Mike Tyson. So, but going the distance, that's what we're going to go with in this fight. So that's a little bonus pick for you guys if you just want to be a degenerate and bet on that exhibition fight there on Netflix this evening. But that is what we're going with, our 4 best bets on this Friday card. And then again, be back for tomorrow, where I will be dropping our short reel about our college football picks. I will be posting a hardwood haymaker probably on Twitter, and I'll post it like on the YouTube, but I probably won't create a video about the hardwood haymaker. And then we will probably be boots on ground at University of Georgia for the Georgia-Tennessee game. So if anybody's watching and you're going to be out there or want to, pop out, let me know. Love to meet you. Going to go interview some fans. Let me know what you guys think about the interview content that we've been dropping with the fans and stuff. We have a lot in the pipeline. We have a lot with basketball here. We're going to start getting that in there as well as we've hit a few college football stadiums. So let me know what you guys are thinking about the new content that we're dropping. I appreciate all the love and support. And as always, let's get to that cheddar, dictate your fate, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Later, guys.